Good morning, boys and girls. It is time for math, and I need you to get your math workbook, and I need you to tear out page 219, and it looks like this. It has 3 shapes on it, and I also need you to tear out the next page, which is page 221. So if you want to pause the video for just a minute and get those torn out, you are going to need a pair of scissors, a pencil, and a ruler. Now, if you do not have a ruler at your house, try to get a heavy piece of paper and cut it in a straight line, or have your mom or dad help you cut it. You are going to need to be able to draw straight lines. Okay, if you have your paper, we are going to get started. The first thing we're going to do is cut out these 3 shapes, and we're just going to cut on the dotted lines. We have a circle, we have a square, and we have a rectangle. All right, the directions for this activity ask us to cut out the shapes, which we just did. And then it says, how many ways can you fold them into halves? Now, boys and girls, a half. Sometimes you see it written like this, 1/2, half. A half means 2 equal pieces. Okay, and that's very important, 2 equal pieces. A half does not just mean 2 pieces. It means 2 equal pieces. We're going to actually start with our rectangle, the green one. And I'm going to show you why it's important that you understand that a half is 2 equal pieces. Let's pretend that this is a big piece of cake. And your mom says, divide the piece of cake into half, 1 piece for you and 1 piece for your brother. And so you're thinking, oh, I want the bigger piece. So I'm going to fold my paper right here. So this is my half, and this is for my brother. Okay? But then your mom says, now your brother gets to choose the piece he wants first. And your brother comes, and of course he's going to take this piece, right? Because it's much bigger than this piece, and you get left with the little piece. Would you be very happy about that? That's why it is important that you understand that a half means 2 equal pieces. Equal means the same. Okay, 2 pieces that are the same size. So this time I want you to take your green rectangle, and I want you to fold it so that the 2 ends come right together. They match exactly. Okay? And I want you to press it down nice and tight. And I want you to open it up. Can you see that both of those pieces are the same size? They are equal pieces. Do you think there's another way that you could divide this rectangle into halves? Think about that for a minute. What's another way you could divide it into halves? Let's try folding it hot dog style this time. Remember when we fold our papers hot dog style, it makes them long and skinny. Remember, we need to match up our edges and crease it nice and tight, okay? Are those two equal halves? Are these two pieces the same size? Yes, they are. So a rectangle can actually be divided into halves two different ways. You can divide it this way so that each person has a piece this size. Or you can divide it this way so each person has a piece this size. Is there another way you could divide this rectangle into half? I think I heard somebody say like this. Do you think those two pieces are the same size? Let's see, let's do it like this. If we folded it corner to corner, do you think that those two pieces would be the same size? Shall we try it? Shall we cut it on that folded line from corner to corner? You don't have to cut yours if you don't want to. I'm going to cut mine just so that we can decide whether or not it's half or not. Okay, now when I try to put them on top of each other, are they the same size? They are. So there were actually 3 different ways to cut that triangle into half. Let's try the square. I'm sorry, I just called that a triangle. You know what I meant, a rectangle. But we did cut it into 2 triangles, didn't we, to make that half. Let's try our square now. Okay, what do you think we should do? Shall we fold it in half? Put the edges together. Okay, oops, I folded mine a little bit crooked. Okay, are those 2 pieces equal? Are they the same size? Yep, they are. Is there another way that we could divide this square into half? Should we fold it this way? Are those 2 pieces the same size? Yes, they are. They're actually the same this way or this way, aren't they? Now, do you think that we could make 2 triangles out of a square? Could we divide it in half that way? Do we have 2 equal pieces if we do it that way? Yes, we do. So again, there's 3 ways that we could divide this square into half. So if you had a sandwich and you were going to share it with your brother, you could cut it in half this way. You could cut it in half this way. Or you could cut it in half this way. Do you remember that time I told you the story about my son who he went to his grandma's and she made him a sandwich and she cut it in half this way and he would not eat it because he wanted it cut in triangles. Well, guess what? That little boy is all grown up now, and that is who I am in Arkansas visiting right now. And now his little girl, Gracie, she likes her sandwich cut in triangles too. Is that crazy? All right, let's look at our circle. Is there a way to cut our circle in half? Let's see. Yes. we have 2 equal pieces, which means it's in half. Could you do it this way? Yep, still in half. 2 equal pieces. But there's no way to go corner to corner because a circle doesn't have corners, does it? So a circle only has 2 ways to cut it into half. Go ahead and get out your page 221 right there. Okay, and we're going to go right up to the very top of the page where it has our vocabulary words. And our vocabulary for this page is half of, and we just did halves, right, with our shapes, fourths, and fourth of. If a half is 2 equal pieces, how many pieces do you think there would be if you cut your sandwich into fourths? Yes, you can see the word right there, 4. There would be 4 equal pieces, okay? So if we took this red square and pretended it was a sandwich and we cut it into fourths, so we would cut it this way. And then we would cut it in half again. And each piece would be a fourth, because there would be 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Right? Okay. You know what? You're going to want some crayons for this too. So if you need to pause this for just a minute and grab some crayons, you can. Okay, number 1 says color 1/2 of the shape. Draw a line to show halves. Color 1/2 of the shape. And that's where you're going to want a ruler. Okay, if you have one, or you can use a heavy piece of paper if you need to. You want to find the middle of the square. Okay. So if you're going to cut it this way, the middle's going to be about right here. If you're going to cut it this way, the middle's going to be about right here. And if you're going to cut it in half this way, you can just go angle to angle, like that, right? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go point to point. I'm going to cut that square into half. And then it says to color one of the halves. It doesn't matter which one. You can color the top or the bottom, but color one of those halves. Okay, let's go over to our circle. Let's draw a line to show halves. Do you want the line to go up and down or across? It doesn't really matter. It can go either way. I'm just going to go up and down on it. I'll try to get it in the middle. Okay. I cut my circle in half and I'm going to color half of it. If you decided to go across, that's fine. And again, if I'm going too fast, you can pause the video anytime you need to catch up. Okay, we are going to go down to number 3, the rectangle. Which way would you like to cut this one in half? Would you like to go up and down, across, or sideways? Since I did this one sideways, I think this time I'm going to go up and down, but you don't have to. You can do it the other way if you want to. Okay, and again, I'm going to color half of that. Now remember, you want to be as careful as you can to have them be the same size, okay? Because equal pieces means that they're the same size. Let's go over to number 4. It is, looks like a diamond. It's actually a square turned sideways. How should we cut this one in half? I haven't gone this way yet, so maybe I'll go side to side. Okay. And then again, I'm going to color half of it. Okay, if we look down at the bottom of the page, it says draw lines to show fourths. And fourths means we got to cut it into 4 pieces, right? Color 1/4. That means we're only going to color one of those pieces. Let's divide our rectangle into half. Let's divide it into half lengthwise first. Okay. Oh, that's not very straight. I think it's more like right here. And to get 4 pieces, we would need to cut it in half again, right? And remember, we want them to be pretty much equal, okay? And then we're just going to color 1/4. We're going to pretend that line isn't there. That's why we should use a pencil. Mrs. Bennett should be using a pencil so I can erase. Okay, so we have this line, we have this line, and I colored 1/4 of it. Okay, let's divide this square into 4 pieces. How would you like to do that? You want to go up and down. Want to do triangles. I think I'm going to go up and down, but this time I'm going to look at it before I lay my ruler down. I'm going to mark that I know the halfway point is about right there, and so I can get my line right. Okay, so I've cut it in half, but I want 4ths, so I need to cut it in half again. So this time I'm going to go over here, mark it, and draw my line across. And how many pieces am I going to color? Just 1. Okay, let's go ahead and go to our diamond shape over here. And first we're going to cut it in half. And then we're going to cut it in half again. We ended up with 4 little triangles, 4 equal pieces. You know, while I was doing this, I just got to thinking that there was another way to divide our rectangle and our square into halves that I had forgotten about. So I think what I want to do is I want to draw another square just like this one. I'm going to draw it just like this just because I want to show you another way to do this. Your mom and dad are probably already saying, there's another way to do this that Mrs. Bennett didn't show you. They're so smart. Okay. What if we cut it in half this way? And then we cut this half in half. And then we cut this half in half. I want to see how many pieces that would give us. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did that give us 4 equal pieces also? It did. Yay. Okay. We're just going to color one of those in. Okay, let's go down to our circle and divide it into 4ths. I wonder how many ways we can do this. Well, again, I'm going to mark the middle so I kind of know where it is before I lay my ruler down. I'm going to cut it in half, just like I did up here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it in half going across. And that gives us 4 equal pieces. Now, I know that I can't hear you talking right now, but since I've taught this lesson before in 1st grade, I know that there were some kids that said, can we do the circle in 4ths like we did the square? So I want to show you, Okay, so I'm going to make my circle. It's not perfect, but I'm going to make it the best I can. Okay, so let's try that. Let's cut our circle in half like we did the square up here. Okay, and then let's cut this half in half. And let's cut this half in half. Okay, do we have 4 pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we do. Are they equal? Is this piece right here the same size as this piece? It is not. They are not the same size. So we cannot cut a circle into fourths that way. It has to be this way. That's the only way we can do it. Would you please turn your paper over? This is going to be your homework. It says 4 friends want to share a sandwich. How can they cut the sandwich into 4 equal shares? Draw lines and color each share a different color. Now, if you can't remember, you can come back over to this page and you can see how we cut that square into 4 equal pieces. So if you wanted to share that sandwich with 4 people, you could cut it this way, you could cut it this way, you could cut it this way. So you get to decide this time how you want to cut your sandwich. The next one says the 4 friends want to share a pie for dessert. How can they cut the pie into 4 equal shares? Draw lines, color each share a different color. And the last one says, one friend only wants 1/2 of her granola bar. How can she cut her granola bar into halves? So this time it's going to be halves. We know that halves means how many? 2 pieces, right? Draw a line to show 2 equal shares. So this time only 2 people are going to share the granola bar. Color each share a different color. When you're done, I want you to do these simple subtraction problems at the bottom. Now, when you finish this, I want you to hang on to your paper until tomorrow. Can you put it somewhere safe? Can you tuck it back inside your math book or put it somewhere safe? Because tomorrow when we come back and meet for math, we're going to correct it together. We're going to see if our answers were right. Okay? Thanks for spending math time with me. We'll see you tomorrow.